we have done. Um, I'm kind of lost for words right now. We have done right now. We went in the books in the Saturday Bible studies for the books. We went from Exodus chapter X. We went from Exodus, the last part of Exodus, through Leviticus, and now we're in um, Ezekiel. And we went from the first Ezekiel, chapter 1. We went through chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. And we know Ezekiel in the book of Ezekiel. But before we get started, let me just restart what I had actually said in the beginning. And I'd like to welcome you once again to God in Jesus Christ Ministries. I am your host, Pastor Michael M. Matthews, and I'd like to make some acknowledgments to ministries that I am also associated with. My overseer, Apostle Ella J. Alexander of Victorious Living Faith Ministries. I'm also Apostle Arthur Young of Healing Water Internet Ministry International, and also the host of Keeping It Real. Uh, Apostle Sam, Apostle Sam Hunt of New Things International Ministries, and Apostle Sam Hunt has three other ministries under him. Two of them in Pakistan, and one is in Kenya. Pastor Mark Dudley, the Inspired Word Ministries. He also has a Facebook page for men who are going through something or going through something they need somewhere to talk or relieve, get some things off their chest, or just talk to another man. He has a thing called the War Room on Facebook. So log on there and join and talk to Pastor Mark, Apostle Arthur, or Apostle Hunt. He's also a DJ as well, and you can hear him play gospel music on Facebook. He's also on you. He's also I'm sorry. He's also on Spotify. He's also the Inspired Word is also on Spotify. We also there is also Apostle Sean Simpson of Battle Faith Ministries, Pastor Rosetta Dixon of Soul for Veracity International Outreach Ministries, and Apostle Dennis R. Eller J. Eller Jr. and Make Room in the Love Bible Study. And those are the ministries that I am associated with. Now, with God in Jesus Christ Ministries, and once again, like I said, we have a new website. The website is, if you want to go and check out the website, it's God in Jesus Christ Ministries .churchly.com. We're still working. There's some things we're still working on, and we're working on making sure that we have a calendar so that you can go and see the things what we're going in, like the Bible studies. What what chapters we'll be reading on, and where we will be studying on Wednesday nights and on Saturday nights when we have our Saturday Bible study, and the Sunday sermons as well. We also have the gospel radio station, which is the World Gospel Radio Station, and you can go to worldgospelradio.com. That's a 24-hour radio station that plays gospel music. The RBM Smooth Radio, which I run, plays gospel on Sundays from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And you can hear whatever favorite gospel music you have there. We also have our podcast, God in Jesus Christ Ministries, and that's on Spotify. You can download whatever it is. You got the inspirational word. You got the word of the day. You got the night prayers, the morning prayers. Okay, so you can get that. And as I said, we have our Wednesday Bible study, which is at 8:30, and we have our Saturday book Bible study, which is at 8:30. And we may be adding a men's Bible study and a women's Bible study, but we're not sure yet how that's going to work in this fund. We also have a text request prayer line that you can go to and request prayer if you need prayer. That's 833 943-3973. You can get prayer there. If you need prayer, well, if you just want to really send me a message, if you would like to send me a message, you can send a message to Minister Matthews at yahoo.com. And once again, that's Minister Matthews at Yahoo. So tonight in the book of Ezekiel, we're going to be in chapter 37. Going to be in chapter 37, just to bring you a little history about Ezekiel. We see Ezekiel. He was a prophet and a priest. He lived during the 6th century, which is BCE. He was best known for he was a central figure in the Old Testament, in the book which is by his name, as you know. And he was among the captives. I'm sorry, let me just make sure. Yes, he was among the Jewish exiles taken to Babylon during the Babylon captivity. I mean to say, and that was around 597 BCE, after the conquest of Jerusalem. Ezekiel primary role in the Old Testament was to serve as a prophet to the Jewish people in exile. His mission was to deliver God's message, as we have seen in chapter 1 and chapter 2 and chapter 3. We've seen God that came down and spoke to him and everything. We read about the coming down, the God vision giving him. And God used Ezekiel as a vessel to convey his uh, the particulars of his message, the background in that. So as we now see, we're in 37, and he has a we're seeing this in 37, that Ezekiel is, once again, we're going to be in chapter 37, verse 1 through 14. But before we go there, I want to go right here. Is Ezekiel is not among, just to let you know, he's not among the northern kingdom exile. He is among the exile of the southern kingdom of Judah. So he's in Judah. He's in the southern kingdom, Judah. And Ezekiel was taken into the Babylon captivity during the second depart departure in 597. Along with King Joseph Chin. Along with Joseph Chin, he was taken into exile, and many others from Judah as well. His visions and prophecies were primarily addressed to the exile community of Judah in Babylon, not not in the northern kingdom of Israel. So he basically was more for the Judah. He was giving the message to Judah and where he was at. That's where he was at. So he was giving the message to Judah, primarily to Judah, and addressed the exile, not to of Israel, which had already fallen to the Assyrians over a century earlier. And that was earlier. They went into captivity to the Assyrians, and that was in 722 BCE. So as we look in Ezekiel, as we look in Ezekiel in this, we look at this. We're looking at this. Give me a second here. We find the prophet Ezekiel being commanded by the Lord to prophesy over a valley of dry bones. And what we're going to do here, I'm going to start to read this passage for you, so you get the understanding of what it is. And this is the vision of the valley of the dry bones. Chapter 37. And the hand of the Lord was upon me, and he brought me out by the Spirit of the Lord and set me down in the middle of a valley, in the middle of the valley, and it was full of bones. He had me pass among them all around, and behold, there were very many on the surface of the valley, and behold, they were very dry. So these bones were very. So the bones, when you have bones that have been out in the atmosphere or in the elements, they become very, very brittle at times. So he, where was I? Okay, full of as passing among them, and they were on the surface. And okay, here we go. There were very many on the surface of the valley, and behold, they were very dry. Then he said to me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, Lord God, you yourself know. So he's telling God, God, you asked me a question that I really can't answer. You know better than me. Again, he said to me, prophecy over these bones and say to them, dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. This is what the Lord God said to these bones. And I want you to know I am reading from the NASB Bible, the National American Standard Bible. That's the Bible I'm reading from right now. And he says here, behold, I am going to make, wait a minute, I'm sorry. Yes, okay, he says these bones. Behold, I am going to make breath into you so that you may come to life. And I will attach tendons to you, make flesh grow back on you, cover you with skin, and put breath in you so that you may come to life. And you will know that I am the Lord. Verse 7. So I prophesied as I was commanded. And as I prophesied, there was a loud noise, and behold, a rattling, and the bones came together, bones to its bone. And I looked, and behold, tendons were on them, and flesh grew, and skin covered them, but there was no breath in them. Then he said to me, prophecy to the breath, prophecy, son of man, and say to the breath, the Lord God says this, come from the four winds breath and breathe on these slain so that they come to life. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath entered them, and they came to life and stood on their feet, an exceedingly great army. So what Ezekiel was seeing in this, God brought him to a place where he can see dry bones, where he saw all these dry bones around him, and he had him walk around where these dry bones were. And he's he's saying, well, can these dry bones live? Now we all hear the kind of like the philosophy of, you know, everybody has skeletons in their closets, sort of like to say, in a sense. Not trying to compare that to this, but that's what we are looking at. You have skeletons in your closet, and then all of a sudden somebody winds up talking about the skeletons that you have, and they come that skeleton that you have in your closet comes to life because it's something that people have heard, they now see. So in this is a powerful image of God's ability to bring life to that which seems dead and hopeless. So in this, what we're seeing too with God, He has the ability to bring things to life. And what I would love for you to do is, if you can share the live and share the live, and let anybody else know that we're on, and just let us know, just let them know that we're on, and tell them to come on and join Bible study. Also, it is just as Ezekiel was called to prophesy to prophecy over the dry bones. We too are called to speak life and hope into seamlessly hopeless situations. Today we will. So today we're going to explore uh, the theme of forgiveness as we delve into this powerful story. So, what we're seeing at there is times where we also are faced with hopeless situations, and God gives us the ability, or He gives other people the ability to speak to people who feel they have a hopeless situation and they have a hopeless thing within their life. They feel their life is hopeless. They feel their life is it's going downhill. It's spiraling. And sometimes we get the right. If you get the right person to come along to say the right things, they can pull you out. And that's what God has gave Ezekiel, this measure of speaking to these dry bones, to speak life into them. He wants using his vision to show him that he needs him to speak life into the people who feel hopeless because they're in exile. They are stuck in exile, and he needs them to feel hope in this. So we see Ezekiel being led by the Spirit into the valley filled with dry bones. The Lord commands him to prophesy the prophecy over the bones and speak life into them. As Ezekiel obeys, the bones come together. Flesh covers them, and breath enters them and brings them back to life. The miraculous event serves as a powerful reminder of God's ability to bring restoration and renewal to the most hopeless situation. So once again, when we're faced with a problem, and we also too are given that ability to speak life into our own selves. God gives us that ability. We just don't. A lot of us, we tend to look at everything as a hopeless thing. Like it's nothing that we can. It's nothing that we can do, or it's like it's done. That's nothing I can do. I'm lost. What can I do? There's nothing I can have. There's nothing I can make. What can I keep doing to get things right? And what it is that we have to know how to have faith and hope and speak life into our own selves, and have also be able to speak life into others, being this, because we too are given this ability. This is also a gift that God gives us to speak life into people. Just as God brought life into the dry bones through Ezekiel's prophetic word, so too can we bring life to our broken relationships